All right, we are live. I believe this is episode 35. It is. We appreciate you for coming out on Thursday. Uh, those that got a chance to see how we run our meetup. We're pretty open. I hope you enjoyed that meetup live. We'll try to do a little bit more meetup live, but I try to tend to keep it closed only because people may share their screen or they want to talk or be open and candid, whatever it is that they're going through, or if they're having some confusion. Some people are nervous about talking. On this stream, you can actually come up on this stream as well too. D can drop the link in case you want to talk about something in particular that we mentioned or something from a previous episode that we talked about. And again, this is Tech Stocks and Jobs. If you are not familiar with who we are Women in Linux. Women in Linux is a nonprofit. This is our actually. I was looking, and I think this is our 5th year anniversary public, but I think we actually been around longer than that. But that's besides the point. Um, what I want to introduce you to is our website, womeninlinux.org, where you can find anything in terms about us working on some working on some content now as well too. So this look of the website will probably change as well. But nevertheless, if you want to connect with us, you can hit connect and connect with us in our Slack, where we drop information. I know someone asked me about the 1100 drops that I mentioned on Thursday. I'm still waiting for the lady to get back in touch with me. I actually know who the founder of this particular company is. He used to be a recruiter at Space Systems, started his own company, and now he's got his own company. And it's it was a honey badger effort. But long story short, we'll get into it. I actually reached out to him. I actually want to bring him on so y'all can meet him, talk to him, understand what he's looking for, and what he's trying to do. Most of the jobs, like I said, in the Slacker and the DMV area, but that's besides the point. If you are looking to for merchandise, you can shop with us on by clicking shop. You can hit all products. You would see more products down here. If you hit next, there's another page of products here. You see there was a beanie on the other one. There's a hat on the other one. And here's a beanie here, and just more products here. I wore some. I probably wore some this afternoon in our next show. And last but not least, if you want to donate, you can always donate with your time. You can donate with money. You can donate by teaching a class. And I say that from the perspective of we always get people that come in, and I mean this with the sincerest form, that come in and say, hey, you all are only teaching Linux, or hey, you all are only doing this, or hey, you all are only doing that. And what that is never followed up with is, hey, I can do this to help out, or hey, I can do this to do X, Y, and Z. Normally what happens is someone will say, I think you should go in this direction, and oh, FYI, I started doing this on my own platform, this, that, and other. So we always get people that come in and not help build, and go from there. Let me put it in this perspective. The Linux Foundation, the CNCF Foundation, is a nonprofit foundation. Not a few years ago, probably like 5 years ago, they were worth $6 billion. They're now worth $10 billion. And do you think that one person actually teaches all those classes that they have? They don't. So if you want to build, you have to build, and you have to build a team around it. We can't get to 10 billion and one person is doing the show. So it's better to do it as a collective. But I get it. Everybody is not down with the collective. A lot of people are all about the I. But that's my soapbox. So if you want to also donate, you can donate via PayPal. You click PayPal. You do not have to create an account. All proceeds actually come directly to us from there. All right. So let me give my shout outs this morning to everyone who's joined us. I see Professor Black Ops. What's going on? How you doing? KC Native. What's going on? Gerard. How you doing? Natanya. I hope I said that right. Good morning, Omega Black. What's going on, Fran B? I was talking about you. I was like, where you at? Where you at, Fran? I hadn't heard from you. I need to see you. All right. Jan Los, what's going on? I thought someone, yeah, from the Netherlands. What time is it in the Netherlands? I forget. It's been a minute. We were there for HashiConf a few years back. Where did I keynote that year? Yeah, that's the year I key. Did I keynote that year? I can't remember. Or did we just attend? I did keynote that year. That's why we went. But yes, good morning to everybody. Let's get started. All right. So this is just some information that I wanted to share with you all on this one here. Do you know that Shell is being purchased? And Shell is being purchased for $9.5 billion. They're being purchased by ConocoPhillips. Their ticker symbol is COP. Let's head over to Yahoo Finance. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, you know gas prices, or I should say the gas has been going up. Not just gas prices, but gas has been going up. COP is the actual ticker symbol for Conoco. So I'm not sure when the deal is supposed to be ended, but what this did do is it did allow for Conoco um, to come right under in a as they say a striking distance to the leader. We all know who the leader is. At least you should know. It's Exxon. Exxon is the leader. They are. I'm not sure where Exxon is at in terms of market share or market value. I should say. Let's see. Let's see how much is Exxon worth. Exxon net worth should be just worth, but I think net worth will help it. $332 billion as of 2020, and let's see what Conoco is. Uh, Phillips net worth. Let's see. Um, 36 billion. So that's not really striking distance to me, but I get it. They're probably the one that's closest to it. And we're gonna get into some of those jobs because I don't think people realize, like, Exxon, Conoco, Valero, all these places have Linux in them. Honeywell, you know, you just got to think outside of the box when we come to that. All right, so Conoco, let's look and see. They don't have a performance over time for here. Uh, but you can see, let's look at for what is done for a month. So we can see how, the price on this has jumped up over the month, right? Even from September the 20th to September, the peak at September the 24th, and then another peak here. Yeah, September 24th. That must have been sometime during the day on September 24th. So you can see that. And then a dip down, right? Sometime during the day there. They don't have the time down here. And for 6 months, this is what it's been looking like for 6 months, right? So as you can see, once this deal closes, that's probably gonna shoot through the roof. But let's go check out Conoco or Conoco. Some people say Conoco, some people say Conoco. Phillips, and then let's go look at careers. All right, so investor, blah blah blah. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, university recruitment, diversity inclusion, career areas, military search firms around the world. All right, so let's go look at career areas, and then let me blow this up some. All right, drilling and completion engineering, offshore, onshore, geosciences. So those that are electrical engineering, places like Slumber J, Computer and electrical. Let me put that in perspective. Computer and electrical engineer. You get a chance to go work on oil rigs, and you get a chance to work on different circuits, different boards, putting stuff together, doing the technical work behind it, understanding X, Y, and Z. Uh, though at the time when Schlumberger, and this was years ago, decades ago, really, came in, they were looking for computer engineers to move from Washington State to Texas. You would work on offshore drilling. You would work on the circuits. You would work on different projects. You would the way it was. Of course, you couldn't have a DUI on in your background with nothing within the past 6 months to a year. I think it was a year. You could not have had any type of trouble in terms of any type of garnishments and so forth. They were checking your background for that, and they also were checking in the background for any suspicious activities for them. That was Schlumberger. They then also said Uh, you would be out basically out to sea anywhere from 3 to 6 months at a time, and you would switch off and then come back. So just an idea from that perspective when you're talking about on the electrical side. But there's so many other things on the electrical side, from mechanical to pressure to, I mean, there's so much more. So let's take a look at the information technology sector. All right. So under their information technology sector, they have application support, data visualization, database administration, server administration, business intelligence, mobility, and virtual technology. The virtual technology is going to be very huge. Just probably probably a good, very use of that in terms of like what happens if we drill here, what happens if we go this deep, what does it look like, how does it affect the environment, what's that look like over time. Anyone who's into weather and science probably also work here well. Cybersecurity, network infrastructure support, network engineering, automation, project management, and web development. They go on to a little bit more about that. So let's go back to our home page over here, and then let's look up. I'm just gonna type in Linux, right? And I just want to see what kind of results. So no results there. So let me see if I type in automation, do I get anything based upon their stuff? Okay, nothing there. So let me hit the search bar, see what I come back with, and see if I can filter down some. All right, so we got Geo Information System (GIS). That's land administration. We have an analysis. We have accounting. I bet you if I put in something related to program, I'll probably pull something back. Let me see if I type in cloud and see what I get. All right, rotational analyst, and this is an internship graduation in Oklahoma, Bartlettsville, Oklahoma. But that's not what I want. I want to get down to the meat and potatoes of some of their other opportunities, like things that we're used to seeing. I want to see if they got some stuff, and then we're gonna take a look at Exxon as well too. Let me see. And I may be under the wrong thing, but here we go. IT senior business analyst, supply chain. Remember, I've been talking about supply chain, and in fact, this is really super important because now we're starting to get into like those pipeline, like the gas pipeline that got actually hacked. So looking at that, so I didn't see much there. Let me go back home. Let me see if they got another. No, they don't have anything. They just got it broken down like that. Let me look at career development here in case you're wondering what that looks like as well too. All right. So career development, let's see, two key challenges: attracting skilled workforce that is equipped to do business globally and providing a work environment that attracts and develops and retains high performing employees. That is an issue across the board. Talent management teams, leadership competencies, early career programs, accelerate program, professional development, mentoring, training programs, network knowledge, and sharing. Right. So this is what they have. Excuse me, at least some type of platform set up for you to go along with your with learning. One, because you're always learning on the job, and then two, what your next step should be. All right. Let me look and check. See. Moving slowly. Got you. Got you. All right. So next one up. Um, I have found this one because they put in, I think, 900 million or 900 billion. It was something like 900 million. So Prudential Financial is selling 31 billion of PALC block of legacy variable to the Carlyle Group. Right, this is the Carlyle Group. I don't know if you all are familiar with the Carlyle Group, uh, but you should be. All right. Let me pull this up over here so you can see who the Carlyle Group is. Right. Let me see. Let me pull this over. I'm gonna read this off to you. All right. So who is the car? Who are they? Who? Why are you mentioning them? Right. So the Carlyle Group has over $260 billion in assets, and they have a purpose to create value on behalf of the investors, portfolios, companies, and communities. If you look on here, you can see you can get the annual support report. You can also find out about investor days. You can also find out, just their impact, where they located at, right? What are they interested in? Sustainable growth, diverse teams, client resilience, stronger communities. I'm not gonna do a deep dive on them in this episode. We'll go back and do a deeper dive on who the Carlyle Group is. I just want you to be aware of who they are, and then what you can find out what they do. But again, you can take a look here as to where they're going with information. One of the reasons why they came up is because they had $900 million that they invested into this company, and I did not write it down. And I was like, oh, let me go get the information. And by the time I look back, I was like, oh, I'm gone. My information is gone. Let me look here. See our firm, and then their careers. We'll take a look at their careers, um, and go from there. So let's take a look at their careers here. All right. So you can see here's their areas: investment professional, investment relations, investor services, all the way down to information technology. Somebody has to run the platform. Somebody has to take care of how quick your investments um, get their transactions. Let's do cloud because they may be on prem too, right? So security engineer, data application security engineer, incident response. I think the main two areas I saw they were at were in New York and DC, the DMV area. Operations lead, manager, performance management, senior cloud infrastructure engineer, and global credit technology. We'll go here and we'll look at the other ones too. But here, partner, public and private cloud. I figured they had some stuff on prem. I can honestly say this week, a lot of the financial institutions that I have spoken with are all have a hybrid cloud situation where they want people to know bare metal machines. One thing is, hey, how do I wrap an API around my bare metal machines to get them deployed to look the same? How do we use APIs with the storage? Do you understand how to use APIs with storage and so forth? How do we set different things up? So again, when you're looking on the financial side, not the fintech side, but like a place like the Carlyle Group or a Charles Schwab, more than likely it's going to have bare metal machines, right? And for other reasons, such as I cannot trust the fact that I have some people's stuff in the cloud. We have the stuff on prem. So just a FYI, there, partner. The key stakeholders develop short and long term strategies, build roadmaps, and design and lead implementation of cloud-based capabilities and technologies, infrastructure as code, cloud orchestration, automation, work alongside projects and teams, API designs, AWS, and so forth. 24 by 7, 365. Here is where we're starting to get into those what we were talking about with SE Linux and profiles, those Linux profiles and so forth, being compliant with NIST, being compliant. 853, that's your normal NIST compliant. I'll pull that up here in a minute. Cloud Security Alliance, benchmark and cloud capability maturity, oversee and manage day to day. Carlisle's AWS environment, including working with operation support teams, subject matter expert, effective in complex problem solving, be the solution. Um, Oversee core public infrastructure, CI/CD, vendor relationships, 10 years, 8 years of technical engineering, on 5 years of managing cloud infrastructure, 5 years of AWS and Azure. So that's their hybrid cloud. I would not be surprised if they got something on prem with some type of direct connect. Won't be surprised. 3 to 5 years on experience, SSO, cloud security. Here's compliance here, and then they give you what they're doing here with AWS. There it is, direct connect. Um, Cloud Formation, VPC, EC2, so forth. DevSecOps, Jenkins, RPA. We talked about RPA before. Chef, Puppet, Ansible. They just want you to know at least some experience with some automation tools, or I should say configuration management tools. Expert knowledge in designing and implementing disaster recovery, business continuity, experience managing high availability, HA, strong verbal, DHCP, understand Active Directory, LAN, WAN. Here we go, VMware and AHV. That AHV falls under Nutanix, so they look like they may have some Nutanix stuff. Data science, analytics experience, a plus. AI, ML, data lakes, Python, and shell scripting desired. Here's what they're looking for. They're looking for AWS certified architect certification preferred, VMware, data analytics, Microsoft. They said just training on data analytics, Microsoft certification, a bachelor's degree or similar or strongly preferred, business bachelor's degree required. And then they go on and on. But you can see here, pretty lengthy on this particular job for a senior infrastructure engineer, and they want this person to have a minimum of 10 years experience. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's kind of maybe. The only way you're gonna get 10 years of experience from all these things if you are in a company that is using all these things, right? Or at least you have exposure to them, right? So that's the Carlyle Group. So our next one up, and let me know if this is making sense to you. Let me know if this makes sense to you, and if you like what you see. And don't forget to like and hit the like button, subscribe. All right, and also share this out. So Alphabet Wagner on Freshworks is up to 900 million after the software company's IPO. Did anybody know about this IPO? So Alphabet Capital G investment arm generated hefty returns from an early bet on Freshworks. Freshworks soared 30% on opening day, and Capital G owns more than 8% of the company. It's not hard to feel great. Yeah, I bet it's not for on Freshworks, right? Right. So let's go check out Freshworks too. After Freshworks shares, thank you. After Freshworks shares jumped 32% in their Nasdaq debut on Wednesday, Capital G's stake in is worth 987 million. The group, which makes later stage investments off of Alphabet's balance sheet, put in a total of 87 million over multiple rounds, starting at a valuation of 150 million. So I guess they went from 87 million, putting in 87. So you put in a total of about 87 million, and now it's worth 987 million. That's pretty impressive. All right. Freshworks, whose software competes with Salesforce and Zendesk, March Capital G, 6 IPO this year. We talked about UiPath, Duolingo, and Robinhood and Oscar. I didn't talk about Oscar. It's hard not to feel great. Also Wednesday, Google's early stage investment group GV soared a win from Toast IPO. Remember Toast IPO this week. The restaurant tech company is valued at $31 billion. $31 billion. Though GV's stake was not as big, GV's invested GV invested a valuation under 100 million. All right. So that was we're talking about now Freshworks. Has anybody been to Freshworks site? Let's go check it out here. All right. So here they talk about Freshworks and just really what it looks like overall. Let's look at 5 day, 1 month. Oh, look at that dip. I guess this is probably when an IPO occurred here. I like this little thing. You see how I like that? Oh yeah, I like that. Let's go check out Freshworks. Not with the D in the front. Let's look at the careers. Life at Freshworks. See job openings. All right, here we go. Okay, senior security advisor, data engineer, senior lead engineer. I know some of you. I'll look at that. Engineer manager, lead data scientist, lead database engineer, lead SRE. These are in India. On these are all in India. They're all in India. Now I don't know if they're remote or not, right? So yeah, they would say if they were remote, they have the remote in front of them, right? So let me go keep going here. There's remote in Germany. Let me keep going. Let me see if I should do a filter, but I'm not. Let's keep going. All right. Senior product manager. Talked about product management earlier. Let's look at that. The words are so small. All right, about the job. Outbound product manager for Fresh Sales Suite. You will play a pivotal role as a technical domain expert who owns the external roadmap for the product, related solutions, and competitive differences. Partnering closely with product management and product marketing teams, you will be responsible for developing and executing go to market activities that drive business performance, product adoption, and customer satisfaction. In this role, you will be laser focused on putting our customers first. And so here they talk about your responsibilities, but let's get down here to what they qualifications they're looking for. A bachelor's degree in computer science, data science, electrical engineer, or related technical fields, something tech. 3 years experience as a product manage as in a product management or related technical product roles, experience bringing innovation, industry leading, and so forth. The main expert experience including API management, big data, infrastructure, compute, or developer operations. So there's different types of product managers, by the way, as well too. All right, so that's that one. I'm gonna scroll back up. I'll go all the way back up. There we go. I want to go all the way back up. I want to look here. Yeah, okay. See that senior security advisor is in India as well too, right? So they're all in India. I don't know if anybody's moving to India anytime soon, but you might. Let's look at the engineering manager and see what they're talking about on an engineering manager. I just want to look at quals. 10 years of professional work experience, 6 years of object oriented software development experience developing software in a commercial software product development environment, a polyglot in programming languages, experience leading teams that built software products for scale, clear and confident spoken and written communication, right? Those are the quals that they're looking for. So I always jump to the quals because I'm always looking to see what kind of person are they expecting what's the thought process that they're expecting of that person, and then I'll go back up and say, okay, what you're gonna actually be doing. Right? I look at that first. That's just me because I want to look and see what the calls are. Because sometimes they may require you to have some type of certification or something like that, and you do all this reading up here, and you get down here, and you're like, okay, these right here are your responsibilities. All right, these right here are what we're gonna go based off on. Do you check these boxes first? Right. So I just want to make sure the boxes are checked. Own the morale of the team, own the careers of your team members, collaborate with talent acquisition, collaborate with and support team, own the communication of the teams. I think these right here, when you asking for a person to understand a polyglot of programming languages, I think this, you as the engineering manager, you're gonna put people around you that understands a little bit more than you do, or a lot more than you do, because you're going to be spending time uh, building a morale, owning the careers of the team, collaborating with talent acquisition, collaborating with other teams. You're going to be in meetings. So you're not going to be you'll own the technical architecture. You'll ask questions about what does this do, how should we lead. You're going to ask your supporting cast really about that, and you have to make a determining decision whether or not that's a good move or a bad move. Worst case scenarios, you're going to be the final say so, but you're going to go back and ask people about this because you're not going to know every single thing. It's cool to be a polyglot, but if you don't do it every day, you're not gonna know the ins and outs of say Kotlin or Go. You may be a polyglot, but that don't mean you know the ins and out all the way. So that's how I look at that. All right. So next one up, let me go over here and look. We have okay, yeah, this is a good one too. So this one, I don't know if you caught this. Procore. Let me get logged in real quick. Do that real quick. Sorry, I'm on a different one, but sure. Thank you. No, you don't like me? Okay, I'll bring you up in another one. Da. Go over here, bring you up here. All right, so Procore is paying 500 million. Thank you for keep coming up, even though I know I'm logged in. I will do it one more time, but I know I'm logged in. Oh, come on, Business Insider. You're killing me. All right, on to the next one. I don't know why it's not letting me log in. I'll come back to it in a minute. Give me 1 second. This is what one of the things I want to address. All right, so this, I actually pulled this from our Slack group. All right, so I'm gonna come back to the other one. One of the things that stood out inside of this right here, let me get to it. Where is it at? So this right here is talking about DoD planning to create a big data platform to better understand supply chain risk. And I kind of touched on this on Thursday, in terms of the solar winds situation and so forth. But what stood out to me, let me see if I can find this little note when I was reading through this article. Let me see. Okay, right here. All right. It wants the information to live in the cloud and have AI and machine learning tools to do the risk analysis of 100,000 firms, including the Fortune 1000. Let me read that to you again. It wants the information to live in the cloud and have AI and machine learning tool to do risk analysis of 100,000 firms, including the Fortune 1000. What does that sound like to you? Well, to me, it sounds like create a company. The other one is get with someone like a Databricks or a uh, Databricks or Snowflake or AWS or GCP BigQuery to do an analysis. When we're talking about AI, machine learning modeling, sounds like data to me, analyzing data, AI, ML, giving results, automation. That's what it sounds like to me. Right? They said DoD wants all this data in a commercial due diligence software platform for automated vendor vetting, supply chain vendor vetting, and affiliated entity vetting to continuously and dynamically inform supplier health. In other words, they're going to have to meet compliance rules and so forth. And that's going to be part of your pipeline. That's going to be part of your stages that you have in GitLab. Like, do they meet these compliant goals and so forth and so on? The software must be immediately deployable, ready to immediately run industrial health assessments and supplier vetting at the execution of the award for the enterprise to use in vetting the vendors, associated personnel, supplier networks associated with companies that will serve. So I see somebody like a SAIC, really I see like a Booz Allen grabbing that, honestly, and then working with some smaller companies that focus and specialize in AI and machine learning. I see a little bit from Lados because I can see them on that as well too. But what do I see vendor wise? HP, Snowflake, Amazon, GCP, uh, Databricks, maybe even a Pure Storage or even a Nutanix, is what I see from those companies. And then they go on into a little bit more about this. So I keep bringing up this supply chain because we keep having issues with our supply chain, and we keep having issues with across the board, not just food, but how we're vetting people, how we're vetting companies. And when I say we, I'm really at this point I'm just talking about the federal government, right? Even to the point now, I think there's been talk about doing away with uh, your credit score as an indication of whether or not you can get a loan. So there's been talk about that, right? So those are the things that I've heard, right? There's one more, and it's not on this page. Let me go back and find it. Let me pull this up because I thought this was I thought it would be important. Let me see. Let me go back. Uh, it's not in here. Let me check my email real quick. Then I want to go back to that other page that we had that I had up. So, let me see. No, don't come in this email. Come in the other email. And let me know. I didn't see if anybody was liking the information. I don't know. Was it not good? Were we okay with that information? Was it too much? All right, so here we go. Let's see. Not that one. Not that one. This is the wrong one. I am looking for the companies that IPO'd this week, um, and I had a whole list of them, but I guess I didn't save that page. There was a whole list of them that IPO'd this week. But there's a website out there you can go to for IPOs for this week. So we got IPOs for the week. To do so, yeah. Here we go. 13 coming to watch. Pull that open, but there's another one here. The IPO calendar, and then the Nasdaq one. All right. So let's go backwards here with the Nasdaq. Okay, so we got some up and coming and some that are priced already, that already happened, right? So Amplitude, Warby, um, Alview Systems, say Olaplex Holdings. They seem to be priced at $14 to $16, then $17 to $19. Offer amount, I'm assuming this billion, 1.2 billion. Here we're in the millions down here, when we're talking about those companies, and then you can see what all happened. So remember they mentioned Toast. Toast has been valuated at 31 billion, right? So here's a list, but this is how you can look up and see what IPOs have, already happened, and then start using these ticker symbols here to go through and find out, one, find out what you if you like them. Two, if any interest in investing in those companies, um, and go from there. The other thing about the when I say being an accredited investor, uh, that getting that 200,000 mark for the next 2 years gives you a way to go ahead and invest early. That's one way. Let's see, here's Market Watch. They're probably pulling from the Nasdaq one, probably, and probably some stuff that they do. But here's First Watch Restaurant Group, uh, Knowlton Development. I mean, now let's look at Seeking Alpha and see what they have. Let's see if they got a list. Let's see, they had second half, blah blah blah. Apple App Lovin has built an extensive platform to help game developers build and manage and monetize their apps. This company has created its own gaming studio called Lion Studios. App Lovin. Um, Joanne. I didn't know Joanne was not public. I didn't know it was. I didn't know it wasn't public. But it left the public markets in 2011 in a 1.6 billion transaction. I didn't know it was. Didn't even know. The Honest Company. That was in May. They evaluated at two billion. Couchbase, we seen them evaluated at 3 billion. Instacart, first half of 2021. Did Instacart go public yet? I don't think so. Oh no, I gotta double check. The Fresh Market. I thought the Fresh Market got bought by Publix. There's another one set to go public and be traded in 2016. The Fresh Market accepted the 1.36 billion cash out from a private equity firm. At the time, the grocer was having trouble competing against Whole Foods, which is now owned by Amazon and Kroger and Publix. As a private company, Fresh Market has been focused on restructuring the operations, which has 159 locations across 22 states and so forth. ThoughtSpot, no estimated IPO there. Rivian, we heard about them, 50 billion. Instacart had an IPO this week. Okay, all right. I thought so. I was like, did Instacart go public? I remember talking about Discord. They got 10 billion plus. Of course, we know about Robinhood. Databricks, 28 billion. Next door, 4 to 5 billion. A census 2021, 3 billion. And that was it. All right. So those are the companies. We could take a look at them next week, because we're coming up at 12:30. We'll be on unofficially an hour. Did anybody want to come up? D, was anybody back behind the scenes? You can just say no, yes. Oh, D didn't drop the link. All right, that's fine. But I just wanted you to see what was going on this week. The 2 o'clock show has way more information. This is just more about the tech stocks, the jobs. I've shown you data bricks. You already know about their evaluation. You already know about their jobs. You already know about their actual certification guide that they have. well, I won't even say guide, but their certification program. You know about Snowflake certification program. You see me talk about the AI and the machine learning and the data behind it. You saw me talk about the DoD and what they're trying to do and where they're trying to move to. Uh, there's a lot more going on. And the 2 o'clock show, I'm going to show you some new stuff that people are researching, that they're actually putting money towards this, something to be on the lookout for. But you gotta catch us at 2 o'clock, and we'll see you all then at 2. Thank you for joining today, and catch you then. Oh, D, drop the link. Hold on, let me make sure before I go. Before I get out of here, nobody wanted to come up. Okay, D said no. All right, I'll catch you at 2 o'clock.